What's up, Haven? I know a lot of you guys have been asking about re-entering, and based on really, I guess the governor has kind of wanting to open up Texas, and like, what does that mean for us? And so I'm going to quickly go over kind of the bones of a plan that's coming together. It's not all fleshed out yet. There are a lot of details that still are in the works. As new information is coming out, new guidelines are being asked to be followed. But here's a quick overlay of the land. And here's the good news. Number one, we have a plan, which is very good. And so actually the first thing I want to do is talk about, when I say we have a plan, let me qualify the we for a moment. Back in 2019, you guys affirmed, and together as a church, we kind of asked some guys to be a part of a leadership cohort with the end goal of them being elders, being leaders in our church. And so we took some time earlier this year. If you remember, we went through the book of Titus and we talked about what in the world is an elder, how do they function, and in very short, an elder is an overseer. It's someone that cares about our church deeply, cares about the scripture deeply, and has been called to represent the mind of Christ. And so these guys have gone through pretty rigorous training, both emotionally and time-consuming and scripturally, taxing at times. And so they have been put forward, and they have been called to do this, to serve you at this capacity. And so I've been working with them now that their training is complete. I mean, your training is never really complete as an elder, but nevertheless, these guys have completed their training. And then the big second piece to that was they were examined by our sister church, overseeing mother church, Cornerstone. And Cornerstone has given Ben DeBruler and Andy Tate and Ian Call the big Fat Greenlight to go ahead and to assume this position on our behalf and for us. And it's a really cool thing. And so we have elders, but we haven't been able to meet yet to install them, which is a fancy, it's like a big party. We haven't been able to celebrate them publicly. But the cool thing is, behind the scenes, they have been working very diligently. And so together with them, these elders, these pastors, and myself, we have formed a plan of re-entering the world, or re-entering church as we know it, whatever that may look like now and in the future. But I wanted to let you know that this is not Nathan's idea. This is a collective effort to seek wisdom and to put forward a plan that's going to benefit us as a congregation, and also our city, and also Bona Fitness itself. And so here are the bones of the plan going forward. The governor has began the opening up process of Texas, but I think that we still have to be really wise here, because every context is completely different, and every little nook and cranny of the state is going to be affected in different ways. And so we're wanting to be wise here, and not just necessarily open up the doors and everyone start resuming as before. So the plan is to literally reverse kind of what we have been doing, in the sense in which preventing being in public and those things, right? So we went from large gathering to smaller gatherings to no gathering to at home, and the plan is really to reverse that. So starting very, very soon, it seems like a long way away, but it'll be here before you know it. Starting the week of May 17th, we're going to start meeting again in homes, in our neighborhood groups, to watch our Sunday morning service. So we'll continue to stream the service. That's something that we will probably never get away from. But the week of May 17th being that Sunday, we're going to ask that neighborhood groups resume at that point in time. Now, there will be caveats on this based on if you're comfortable with that, or if you are considered what the CDC is calling like an at-risk case, or if you somehow find yourself in that category. There is no pressure to meet. What we're saying publicly is that on a corporate level, we're going to resume meeting at that point in time. So we'll meet in homes. And then June 7th will be kind of our let's get back together day, right? So join us in June. June 7th, we will resume a normal Sunday gathering. And depending on attendance size, we have to maybe go a couple different ways. Possibly adding additional gathering times, like a Saturday night or something like that. Saturday night seems to be an easy transition for us because we're already there setting up. So providing a short yet quality worship service on Saturday nights and then also on Sunday morning could help split some of the numbers. Now, mind you, when we do gather, I won't go into all the detail today, but we are being incredibly respectful to and incredibly adaptive of all of the CDC guidelines, all of the governor's task force guidelines, even the procedures that Keith Scruggs, the owner of Bona Fitness, is implementing in the gym. We will adhere to those completely in full compliance. And so all of the details of that, again, we're going to have to wait to see whether masks are still required or all of the certain social distancing protocols are still in place. But whatever is in place, those things will remain in place as we gather together. So it will look different. It will feel different. But that's okay because we're in different times, and it's still going to be great, and it's still going to be good. So May 17th, we'll start meeting in neighborhood groups again. On Sundays for sure, and then if groups would like to meet during the week, we'll let them decide if that's something that they want to do, feel comfortable with, if that's wise to do. June 7th, we'll resume a Sunday gathering, and then depending on the size of that, we'll probably break that. We'll probably break that in half and ask some people to come on Saturday night and some people to come on Sunday the following week, the 14th. Haven Kids will take a permanent hiatus for a while, which is deeply saddening to me. But we're going to follow the protocol of KDISD in that regard. So if schools are not meeting or the buildings are asked to not be used, or if they're giving any additional information, we're certainly going to follow all of those guidelines. And so Haven Kids, for the moment, will take a permanent hiatus. However, we'll still continue to supply you with resources. We're working on, Lauren and Sarah have been diligently working on some sustainable resources for you. And so we will continue that. I mean, that is our commitment to your children is very important to us. And so we will continue to do that for sure. May 10th is a Sunday, 2 Sundays from now. And what I would like to call is a town hall meeting. As we begin to put kind of the muscle and tissue on a plan, on the bones of this plan, I really, really want your input. Like, I want to know what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. I want you to get your input in. I want your voice to be heard, because again, all of this is so contextual, right? Our congregation is so unique and so special and so different than other congregations, and so our needs may not be the same needs as other places. And so, as we think through these things, let your voice be heard. So May 10th, following the Sunday worship service, we will have a Zoom call of sorts, or an 8x8. So we'll do the worship service. We'll experience that together, and then we'll immediately jump into a town hall meeting where if you have any detailed questions, or if you have any concerns or comments or possible suggestions, let's let all of those things be heard on May 10th. Now, obviously, if you have something that you want to talk about before then, you most definitely can contact me, Ben DeBruler, Ian Call, Andy Tate. Those guys and myself are here for you. We love you. We are for you, and we're for Haven. And so we want to hear what you're thinking and what your concerns are, what you need, and we want to help in any way possible. And so again, just recap. May 17th, we'll start meeting in neighborhood groups again, specifically on Sundays to stream the worship service, which we will be streaming this whole time. We'll keep doing that, hopefully without disconnects in the future. June 7th will be our official first day back together, and then depending on how that goes, either we'll split into a Saturday night, Sunday morning, or we'll just continue as need be. There's no Haven Kids for a while, just purely internet resource. So when we do gather, it will be family style. So just keep that in consideration. May 10th, we'll have a town hall meeting right after the worship service so that your voice can be heard. And listen, let me also say this too. I think this is a wise plan. I think it's a prudent plan. I think it's your elders being as responsible as they can be with the information given and knowledge of you as our church. And so having said that, though, the safety of your safety and your family's safety really is number one priority here. So if any part of this is uneasy for you, or if you're feeling reluctant about being around people, please, there is no pressure. Continue to enjoy the streamed service at home. Continue to enjoy the resources that we can provide. Communicate via social media or Slack, whatever is easier for you. But don't feel any kind of social pressure to just jump back in if that's not where you are. Especially if you're considered one of those at-risk cases that the CDC is describing. And so, love you guys. I'll see you very, very, very soon. Adios.